Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show, ELIAN'S Joy. It is so wonderful to see you today, and I am very, very grateful to be here. This week, again, we are talking about the spiritual side of the mind body spirit connection, and that's what I'm paying attention to the whole month. Welcome to the Win Win Women. We are a great, fabulous, amazing group of women that gather to bring you, in my case, a lot of joy and energy, to bring you information about family, about life, about kids, about relationships, about career, about so many things. We have so many amazing hosts and information for you. So I really hope that you will get to watch some of our shows and some of our replays, right? There you can find us now on Roku and Amazon Fire and other networks as well. So we're all over the place, and I hope that you will find the time to follow us. We always have a great lineup on Saturdays, and this morning I was blessed, and we had so much fun to be on Kat Moulton's show, the Creatrix Energy Show, and it was so much fun. We got to share and we got to chat, so it was a great time. I hope that you will watch the replay of that. And we definitely talked about the dynamics in life that are coming from self-reflection, and then we really the whole thing that we talked about was to come to a place of self-awareness and to come to a place of deep gratitude through reflection. And I call that the transformation, right? Transformation versus the expectation part that we all go through in life. So we had a great conversation, and today I want to tell you a little bit about myself, Eliane Haan. That's me, and I am your energy person, your joy person. I am very joyful. I am very grateful. We talked about that last week about an attitude of gratitude in the morning. One of the things that you can do for yourself if you are suffering from anxiety, or if you're just getting up into um, a bad spot in the morning, if you're in a bad place. I am a life and wellness coach, and I help people feel better. I help people plan ahead so that we can tackle some of that anxiety in my anxiety intervention groups and sessions. And I work with my patients, with clients on that. And I work on pain management through movement as a somatic and movement practitioner and specialists. So really so much to share with you, and really so much great stuff. Today it's going to be something that is all encompassing, I should say. Is it the right word? Yes. It kind of like looks at the balance of life and how we can spiritually be in balance. Last week we talked about it as well. Last week we talked about a lot of little tricks that we can do for ourselves to step out of a comfort zone and to do something new, and to get a little bit of attitude of gratitude on, and to look at things a little bit a different way. And definitely to continue in that spiritual gratitude, in that sense of balance, and feeling a little bit at ease, and feeling a little bit uh, just better overall, and at peace, at ease and at peace, I always say, right? And physically and emotionally and spiritually. So when you find that balance, then you want to continue and keep that. And today we have a very practical exercise to either start coming to that place, or to kind of go back to that place every month to do a self-check. I call that the wheel of life, right? And today we're talking about spiritual balance, balancing the wheel of life. How we can get to that is just to sit down once in a while and be honest with ourselves. I have to do that many times myself. I came from that place in life of running into expectation towards really slow transformation that took a couple of decades, right, to get there. But if you're feeling that, then you're just so at peace and at ease, and get rid of the dis-ease, right? So even emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I always make that connection. If we're just full of stuff here, then that will immediately settle in our bodies, and we just have that physical manifestation of our pain and our grief, or and sometimes we need to allow it, and sometimes we just really need to go through it, because we all experience grief and loss and pain and suffering. But sometimes we can just literally do something about it. And for me, that is always, trying to feel physically a little bit better and healthier, and then slowly coming to that mental and emotional support that we need to get a little bit more balanced, do some self reflection. And today's exercise is a great way of coming every month or even every week to that manifestation of, I'm doing all right. And that's what you want to do. You want to do that for yourself every time. This wheel of life, this balance exercise is so much fun. I use it in my life coaching practice a lot. I use it in counseling with my patients in rehab a lot. And it's so effective. So if we do it, then I always say, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, grab a napkin, grab something you can write on, the back of your book, the inside of your book, anything that you are reading with, or even if you're drawing on your laptop. And if you are having that available right now, then let's start and see if we can kind of put some things in place that are having to do with life overall. And I explained this in a little bit, but it comes down to the fact that if we're only working and where nothing else is falling in place, but we're only just career, 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 or work, 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 or workaholic, and we don't pay attention to other things, then you would say, and you would agree with me, that's pretty much out of life. That's pretty much out of balance, right? And that is just an emotional distortion. At some point, we're going to run into a wall. When we run into a wall, things are going to come back from the past. We have too much time all of a sudden to create a sense of negative, or come into a sense of negative thinking and self-esteem issues, because we're just run out and we're just overstressed and just overdone it. And to prevent all those little things of overdoing it, you want to balance again the wheel of life. So we'll fun exercise. And I haven't used it yet with you. So I haven't introduced it yet with you. And so we're going to use that today to just have fun with. I want you to have fun with it. It is such a great thing for me to do all the time, to kind of look at myself and go, oh, really? You're sitting on the couch only, too much me time and too much holiday time. Not good either, because you're going to lose your sense of purpose. You're going to lose that sense of respect and validation and worthiness and contribution to the society and the place that you want to be in, to create that sense of feeling good, right? I did something, accomplishments of the day. So either or, right? Not too much of this, not too much of that, anything in balance. That reminds me of just a good diet. Everything balanced out. We're not always so good at that. Let's talk about that another time. So we really want to have that wheel. So on your piece of paper, and or you're listening and writing this down, or you're listening and going to do that later, on a piece of paper, you draw the perfect circle. Perfectly imperfect. A circle. Can be a small one, can be a big one, right? Just draw a circle and divide that circle from the center into 6 pieces of pie. Today we're going to do 6. Add a lot more onto it, but then we're going to go deeper, deeper, deeper. Today we're just going to go look at the outskirts of what's going on. So in that circle, you're going to have a line from the center to 12 o'clock, and a line to 2 o'clock, and a line to 4, and a line to 6 o'clock, 8, and 10, right? Let's do 6 pieces of the pizza, 6 pieces of the pie. Let's focus on that. So you're in the middle of the circle, the center of the circle, line above, line to 2 o'clock, line to 4, line to 8, and 1 to 6. So I have exactly 6 good pieces of pizza. And that's what we're going to just put something in those little fields, or maybe on the outside of it. I want you to just write down career. I want you to write down in the second one, in the first one, write career, purpose, career, professional, job, maybe purpose, all that stuff in the first one, or just on the outside of it. And our second piece of pie, we're going to name that relationships, family, friends, communication, just social. That's what we're going to call the second one. So you can all put all those little names on the outside, all those little words on the outside of that second piece of pie. The third piece, between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, right? The third piece, we're going to call that money. Money, 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 money. Financial. Stability. Something I was not so good at. If somebody would have told me this in the past, if I only would have known. Yes. So we're going to call that stability, financial. It has not to do with a job, because you can have a job that doesn't give you necessarily a lot of financial stability, but you love it and you get paid well and you're just doing really well and you feel that sense of purpose. That's career. That's profession. We're going to look at the financial picture of budgets. Are you actually really doing a budget at home? It's really healthy. I learned the hard way. In the fourth piece of pizza, we're going to put spiritual or religion, belief, hope, faith, those kind of words, and see. So we're going today big time, see if we are spiritual in a really balanced, grateful, good place. And then in number 5, we're going to put health and well-being. Are you right now in the gym? Not right now, because I want you to watch. Are you in the gym this morning? Are you doing your yoga stretches? Are you watching Elian Han on the YouTube channel and exercise with me? Are you doing your yoga with me? Are you taking care of your health? Are you in sports? Are you outside? Are you doing your wonderful nature walks? All that kind of stuff. Are you walking it off? When I talk about anxiety, I'm always talking about go walk it off. That's the very first thing that the doctor would tell you 100 years ago. It's a whole other story, because now we're going into what should you do for your health if you don't want to take medication. Go walk it off first and see if you still need it. It's a whole different platform. Anyway, so in the last one, what we have left? In the last one, we have personal growth. Personal growth. And I'm going to add on me time, awareness for, and mindfulness time, awareness for self, overall, just mental, spiritual well-being, right? Are you reading? Are you taking your time to educate and teach yourself to do those things for yourself that are really increasing your awareness and increasing your knowledge? And knowledge is power. Right? Are you doing some things that you've never heard of? Or are you just reading some things that are repetition, but good to hear again? Or are you listening to me preach? And it was so good to hear it again. So when you are into that modus and you are leveling that and you're balancing all those things together, then we're kind of going to balance the wheel of life. But nobody is perfect at that. And I'm going to let you see, I'm going to show you why nobody is perfect at that. We are doing one thing always a lot more than the other thing. So we're having to just, again, see it for ourselves in our little circle. So I want you to draw in your little circle either numbers or color it in a little bit between 0 and 10. 10 being absolutely perfect. And 3 or 2 being, well, I could work on that a little bit more. And then put some really honest numbers in there. So numbers, or color it, and tell yourself like, man, maybe spiritually I have not been really engaged. So in my spiritual or in my religion piece of pie, I should put a 3 or a 4. I haven't really paid attention to my God lately. I haven't even paid attention or read the Bible or the books that I would like to read. I haven't really engaged myself into spiritual knowledge and apply it, which is even more important, right? Now we can know all that stuff, but we also have to apply it. So, have I done enough lately to connect with my spiritual self, to come to that really nice sense of ease and awareness? Have I done enough for myself lately? I'm not talking about just your regular petty or many or things that you need to do for your just little moment for self, right? I'm talking about really good me time. Maybe a long weekend away for reading, maybe some moments with friends that were really overdue, maybe some wonderful visits elsewhere, maybe a little vacation, maybe a little beach time, or just sitting in the mountains. Just that time that you needed to be away, to be able to reflect and look at everything else again. So you have to be in that place, being away of your normal comfort zone to be able to reflect and to see what you are doing with that time there. Do you create enough time for that? Us workaholics, ladies of the win-win-win, a lot of us who are just really working hard right now to to bring amazing content to you. And just like we are doing things together and gathering to bring it all out, that just takes a lot of time and we're overworked and we're crazy and we're just stressful and we're so excited. But I know that I have to offset that with my home, with my family, with my me time, with my reading, with my self reflection and with my knowledge. So, one of the other things is health and well being that usually falls by the wayside if we are just running and running and running. In rehab, recovery, in substance use recovery, place where I work as a wellness counselor, that happens a lot. That if people are at sometimes just letting the past get to them or horrific traumatic events get to them, then that can prolong into a really long time of not well being, right? We create triggers, and the triggers lead to substance abuse. And those triggers are really easily recognizable. But like I said, sometimes we know it, but we just don't apply it. And with my patients, I work a lot on knowing that well being and health and taking care of yourself, fitness wise, nutrition wise, that falls by the wayside really, really, really fast. And then we get into this uh, time on the couch. And oh, Kat and I talked about that in the show this morning when I was a guest on her show. We talked about that, just too much sitting on the couch. And at some time, we just give up and we just become lazy. And when we become lazy, and don't take it personal, but when we become lazy, everybody's been there, that we just don't want to, or you come home late at night in the winter evenings, you just don't want to get to the gym again or go out or do something um, athletic or fitness wise or good for your body, right? Sometimes I don't even want to cook, just sit, have a burger, not good, right? But sometimes that can just keel over to the other side. And then we are just so out of balance with our health and wellness and so not in a good place. So we have to put a number in there. Are we a 5? Are we a 4? I usually tell my clients, you don't want to go over 80 or just, you're not perfectly imperfect. What if everything is a 10? What if everything is a 10? Then we just come into that ridiculous world of everything is so perfect all the time. What else can we wish for? Then we have nothing to work on. So you want to be like a perfect 7 or 8 here and there and always leave a little room. But you see where I'm going? We want to bring all these parts of our pie, we want to bring it up to maybe a 7, maybe an 8, can be a little distortion there. But I want to be able to drive my car. In my case, coming from the Netherlands, I should say, I want to be able to ride my bicycle. We ride bicycles. I grew up on a bicycle. Maybe you did too. So it's you know, you have to have these inflated tires, and the perfect circle has to be balanced right there. So that's what we're working on. We're talking about the financial picture. I have, and this took me a long time till I came to a time in my life that I really had to realize that I had to budget. And I work with so many clients and patients that the first time that we don't do, the first thing that we don't do, honestly, is add up all those little Starbucks or all those little coffees or all those little drinks that we buy and that are just not, um, they're $5 or $6, and we just think we think nothing of it. And then we don't realize that times 30 days, that was $150 a month. And I didn't have that. Or maybe I had it, but maybe I wanted to put it somewhere else. Or maybe I had to put it to a more important bill that I had to pay. And if you get to that point, or if you sometimes feel that your expenses are out of control and you don't really see it, where you need to kind of put a little stop in place or put a little balance in place, then go back to your finances. What do you need to do to feel financially a little bit more balanced and stable? We need to leave those things out. We call that energy drinks and things that we buy on the side of the road. And I was honestly really not aware and bad at it for a time in my life till I realized how much money I was really spending monthly or annually on those little bitty thingies that you think they're only two or three or four or $5. So you want to get away from that. And you want to take a deep breath and say, I can make my own lunch. Oh, lunches are a trigger, right? I can make my own lunch, or I can take my own coffee to work, which I always do. I make my extra pot in the morning and take it to work. So there's a little bit of a tip for you. And then the last one I kind of want to throw out there is, and I talk about that all the time, is your purpose, your career. Do you get up with a zzz in the morning to really get to work and do what you love to do? I always say I love what I do and I do what I love. And I have so much fun doing it and I enjoy it so much. And I feel so much energy behind the purpose that I finally found in life. And I had such a hard time finding that purpose. Oh, we talked about it this morning on the show. How do you find your purpose? How do you know where you need to be to get that sense of validation, to get that sense of importance, to get everybody wants it. Everybody wants to be seen and heard and complimented. Sam Ravis has a great show, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Constant, like, oh my, we just have to be out there and feel that sense of contribution. We fall off the wagon, we fall off, we fall down, we get depressed if we don't feel that sense of, being validated and respected. In relationship issues, I tell my clients sometimes that respect, and I will just talk about another show about that, but respect sometimes is even more important than love in a relationship, because you can love each other all you want. But if you don't feel respected or you don't feel respect for somebody, it kind of starts crumbling down and breaking down. And that's a really hard thing to see sometimes, a really hard, tough thing to look at. But we want to look at that relationship wise. Was that the last one? Or did I just do the last one? So career, relationship, career, feeling that sense of having something to do with a lot of fun and helping. Of course, ultimately, that whole purpose goes forwards to being there and being able to help in whatever form you do it. If you are helping over the counter and everybody loves to see you every morning, you are in a great place. If you are working on cars and everybody is just loving to go to you because you are just always fixing it with a smile on your face, you are where you need to be. If you are walking the dogs for somebody, or if you are taking kids and taking care of other people's kids, oh, you are in a great place. of tremendous respect because we couldn't do without you taking care of our babies. So for that matter, just look at what makes you feel so good. And sometimes, of course, that is difficult to do. And sometimes that doesn't pay the bills. But that's another story for another day. Communication is key in relationships with friends and with everybody around you. Communication is key. And again, I wasn't really good at that. So you have to learn how to say, I want to tell you something. It's not really a good thing between us now. It kind of makes me uncomfortable. How can we work together to get to that place where you still feel great and I feel a little bit better? Or, can I do something for you that makes you feel a little bit more loved? Or do you feel loved? Do I do the right thing? How can I create that connection? A great exercise that I learned years ago was that you have to come sometimes to that 1 hour a week on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call that person that I haven't talked to for a long time because I really, really, really want to be um, connected again. I let go. I didn't talk to her. I love her so much. I didn't talk to him, and they're such good friends. And sometimes you just have to kind of sit down and make that time to reconnect and say, I'm sorry, I've been so out of touch, without that expectation of, oh my gosh, I have to do it, but just because you love and you make time. So try to see in your little wheel if you can get some numbers a little bit up and a little bit balanced to maybe a 5 or maybe all a 6. And you can honestly reflect every time on what you have to work on a little bit. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's 2 things this month. But if you feel like you can work on some things a little bit more, then they're going to stand out this week or this month for you. And you can really work on it. You can really feel good doing it. Little self-reflection with that wheel. And when we come into that spiritual and emotional balance and mental balance, and we start feeling physically a little bit better, let's bring it all together and let's really feel good about how we are going and moving forwards. Moving forwards, right? Do it with me. Let's do the wheel. So we're just really having to continue looking forwards. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Looking forwards, keep moving. It doesn't have to be awesome. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be fabulous, but just keep looking at where you need some improvement. I love to share this stuff with you. I love that little wheel, and I love just to kind of draw together and do it and look at it and share it. And mine needed some work this week. So I love to share this with you. And if you want to know some more of this stuff or how to reach out to me or email me or come with questions or find the shows, www.elianhaan.com. www.elianhaan.com. There you can find information about how to find me, how to come see me, how to follow me, how to go with me to webinars and seminars, and how to link in to my upcoming book or link into my classes on different platforms if you want to do a little exercise with me to get into that fitness modus, right? We'll share that the next month. So thank you so much for watching today and just being here, and keep watching because we got a great lineup today with, what is it today? It's Saturday in my time. It's Saturday, maybe not in your world, but here it is a Saturday. I hope you watch Valerie Magahat's day on the afternoon show. I hope you watch Pamela Sylvan today. Great afternoon shows for you. Just a good day to sit down and log on and watch us. So I am very grateful to share this with you. I'm very grateful, and please reach out and please stay connected and find me on the website and just look at stuff and let me know. I want to know what you're interested in, and I want to know how I can help you with all these fantastic win-win women. We're caring, we're connecting, and we're collaborating. with you. So thank you so much for watching today. I love it, and I hope that you keep watching ELIAN'S Joy and get some energy, get some joy for you. Thank you for watching today. Appreciate it.